Happiness alone starts with purpose. You don't need a cheerleader to get out of bed. You need a mission. Find something that lights a fire in your soul. Hit the gym, stack your money. Learn a skill that makes you untouchable. When I was building my empire, I didn't have time to cry about being lonely. I was too busy becoming a beast. Solitude is your training ground. Hook. Every second you spend chasing someone else's approval is a second you're stealing from your own greatness. Stop begging, start building. Your brain is a battlefield, and if you don't control it, you're going to lose every damn day. Being alone means facing your thoughts head on. Most people run from that. They drown it in Netflix, booze, or fake relationships. Not you. You're going to train your mind like a Spartan. Meditate, journal, or just sit in silence and wrestle with your demons. You'll find out who you really are. Happiness isn't about escaping pain. It's about conquering it. Hook. The man who can sit alone and smile at his own thoughts is unstoppable. Are you that man? Here's the cold, hard truth. Nobody's coming to save you, and you don't need them to. The moment you stop caring what the world thinks, you're free. Social media likes, trash. A girlfriend who doesn't respect you, garbage. Your self-worth isn't tied to anyone else's opinion. When you're alone, you learn to validate yourself. Look in the mirror and know you're enough. Hook. The loneliest place is a room full of people who don't get you. The happiest place. Your own damn mind when you've mastered it. Being alone isn't a punishment, it's a superpower. Solitude is where you forge discipline, clarity, and unbreakable confidence. Use it to level up. Read books that make you smarter, train your body like a weapon, plan your future like a general. When you're comfortable alone, nobody can shake you. You become a force of nature. Hook. The world bows to the man who doesn't need it. Be that man. You're standing at a crossroads, staring down the path of your own existence, and the world screaming at you to run toward people, approval, and noise to fill the void. But let me hit you with a truth that'll shake your core. Solitude isn't your enemy. It's your greatest ally. Owning your solitude isn't just about surviving alone. It's about thriving in your own presence, standing tall like an unshakable fortress. This is about claiming your power, forging a mind so strong that no external force can rattle you. Hook. The greatest warriors in history didn't need a crowd to feel alive. They built their strength in the silence of their own minds. Are you ready to become that warrior? Embracing solitude means confronting yourself head on. No distractions, no excuses. Most people crumble at the thought of being alone because they're terrified of what they'll find when the noise fades. But you're different. You're going to face that mirror and see a force of nature staring back. Solitude is where you strip away the lies society feeds you about needing validation, about chasing fleeting connections to feel whole. It's where you learn that your worth isn't tied to anyone else's opinion. It's just you, raw and unfiltered, building a foundation no one can tear down. This isn't about isolation. It's about liberation. Hook. The man who can stand alone and smile at his own reflection is a man the world can't touch. Are you that man? To own your solitude, you must reframe it as your training ground. Think of it as a dojo for your soul, where every moment sharpens your discipline, clarity, and resilience. The world outside is chaos. People pulling you in every direction, demanding your energy, your time, your spirit. But when you're alone, you control the battlefield. You decide what thoughts to entertain, what goals to chase, what weaknesses to crush. Use this time to read, to train, to plan your empire. Solitude isn't a punishment, it's a privilege. It's where you sculpt a version of yourself that commands respect without saying a word. Hook. Every empire begins in the quiet moments when a man decides he's enough. Will you seize that moment? This isn't about cutting people off or living like a hermit. It's about mastering your independence so completely that you don't need anyone to feel complete. When you own your solitude, you stop being a slave to external validation. You don't need likes, claps, or compliments to know your value. You become a self-sustaining force, radiating confidence that others can't help but notice. Imagine walking into a room, not needing a single glance of approval, because your strength is forged in the fire of your own company. That's power. That's freedom. Hook. The world bows to the man who doesn't need it. Why chase approval when you can command respect? Owning your solitude means rewriting the rules of happiness. Society wants you weak, dependent, and desperate for connection. But you're not here to follow their script. You're here to write your own. Every second you spend mastering your solitude is a step toward becoming untouchable. You learn to enjoy your own thoughts, to find peace in your own presence, to build a life so rich that others are drawn to your energy, not the other way around. This is your chance to become the architect of your own joy, the master of your own destiny. Hook. The strongest foundations are built in silence, away from the noise of the world. Are you ready to lay yours? Happiness isn't found in the fleeting approval of others. It's forged in the fire of a purpose that consumes you. Chasing people, their likes, their claps, or their fleeting affection is a trap that keeps you weak, tethered to a cycle of validation that never satisfies. Instead, you need to anchor your life to a mission so powerful, it pulls you out of bed every morning, no matter who's around. Purpose is your fuel, your North Star, your reason to exist. It's not about filling your life with noise. It's about building something so monumental that the world can't ignore you. Hook, the greatest men don't chase followers, they chase greatness. What's your mission, and why aren't you obsessed with it yet? Purpose starts with a vision that's yours alone. Forget the crowd. They'll distract you with their opinions and drag you into their mediocrity. Ask yourself, what sets your soul ablaze? Is it sculpting your body into a weapon at the gym? Stacking wealth to secure your future? Mastering a skill that makes you untouchable in your field? Whatever it is, make it your obsession. Purpose isn't a hobby you dabble in. It's a war you wage every day. When you're alone, you have the clarity to define that mission without interference. No one's whispering doubts in your ear or pulling you off course. You're free to build an empire in your mind before it manifests in the world. Hook, a man without purpose is a man adrift. Are you sailing toward greatness or floating in someone else's current? This isn't about fleeting motivation. It's about relentless discipline. Purpose demands you show up day after day, even when the world feels heavy. It's waking up at dawn to grind while others sleep, hitting the weights when your body screams to quit, or studying when your mind begs for a break. That's where happiness lies, not in the applause of others, but in the quiet pride of knowing you're becoming unstoppable. Every rep, every dollar saved, every skill honed is a brick in the empire you're building. Solitude is your ally here. It's the space where you forge the habits that make you a force. Hook, the world respects results, not excuses. What are you building that demands the world's attention? Chasing purpose means rejecting the lie that you need people to complete you. Society wants you dependent, scrolling for likes, begging for attention, or clinging to relationships that drain you. But a man with purpose doesn't beg, he commands. When you're driven by a mission, you don't have time to chase approval because you're too busy creating value. Your work, your grind, your vision become your validation. People will notice not because you sought them out, but because your energy is magnetic. They'll want to be near you, not the other way around. Hook, why chase people when you can build something so big they chase you? Purpose transforms solitude from a void into a crucible. It's where you refine yourself, strip away weakness, and emerge stronger. Every moment you invest in your mission is a moment you're choosing yourself over the noise of the world. You're not running from loneliness. You're running toward greatness. This is your chance to rewrite your story, to become a man who doesn't need validation because his purpose speaks louder than words. Hook, a life without purpose is a life half-lived. What legacy are you building that will echo beyond your lifetime? Your mind is the ultimate battlefield where every thought, doubt, and fear fights for control. If you don't master it, you're surrendering your happiness to chaos. Most people run from their thoughts, drowning them in distractions, endless scrolling, binge, watching, or shallow conversations. But you're not most people. You're here to take command, to forge a mind so disciplined and resilient that it becomes your greatest asset. Happiness isn't about avoiding pain. It's about confronting it, wrestling it into submission, and emerging stronger. Mastering your mind means owning every corner of your psyche, turning solitude into a crucible for unbreakable strength. Hook, the man who controls his mind controls his destiny. Are you ready to take the reins? Start by facing your thoughts head on. Solitude is your arena, where there's no escape from the raw truth of who you are. Most people fear this. They'd rather numb themselves than sit in silence. But silence is your weapon. Sit with your thoughts, no phone, no noise, just you. Let the doubts, insecurities, and regrets surface. Don't flinch. Write them down, dissect them, or meditate until they lose their power. This is how you train your mind like a warrior trains his body, through relentless discipline. Every time you confront a negative thought and replace it with focus, you're building mental muscle. Happiness flows from a mind you've tamed, not one that rules you. Hook, a weak mind betrays you, a strong mind obeys you. Which one are you training today? Discipline is the key to mental mastery. Your brain will try to sabotage you, luring you toward comfort or self-pity. Fight back with structure. Set daily rituals, meditation, journaling, or even 5 minutes of deep breathing to center yourself. These aren't fluffy habits, they're weapons to sharpen your focus and clarity. When you're alone, you have the space to practice this control without the world's noise pulling you off course. Think of every moment of mental discipline as a rep in the gym for your soul. The stronger your mind gets, the less you're shaken by life's chaos. You'll find joy in the quiet confidence of knowing you're in charge. Hook, a disciplined mind laughs at life's storms. Are you building that strength or letting chaos win? Mastering your mind means rewriting the stories you tell yourself. Society wants you to believe you're incomplete without others, that happiness depends on external validation. That's a lie designed to keep you weak. In solitude, you can challenge those narratives. Replace "I'm lonely" with "I'm free to become unstoppable." Replace "I need approval" with "I am enough." This mental shift isn't easy. It's a battle against years of conditioning. But every time you choose empowering thoughts, you're rewiring your brain for resilience. Happiness becomes an inside job, untouchable by the world's whims. Hook, the stories you tell yourself shape your reality. What story are you writing right now? This is about becoming a fortress. A mastered mind doesn't crumble under pressure or beg for distractions. It thrives in solitude, finding clarity where others find fear. You'll start to relish your own company, not because you're antisocial, but because you've built a mental empire that's richer than any external validation. When you control your thoughts, you control your emotions, your actions, and ultimately, your life. This is the path to true happiness, one forged in the fire of self-mastery. Hook, the world can't break a man whose mind is his fortress. Are you building yours or letting it crumble? The world has sold you a lie that your worth hinges on the approval of others. It's a trap designed to keep you small, chasing likes, claps, or fleeting compliments to feel whole. But true happiness, real unshakable strength, comes from ditching the need for validation entirely. When you stop begging for the world's permission to exist, you step into a power so profound it radiates from within. This isn't about arrogance, it's about knowing you are enough, standing tall in your own presence, and building a life that doesn't bend to anyone else's opinion. Hook, the man who seeks no approval, fears no rejection. Are you ready to break free from the chains of validation? Validation is a drug, and society is the dealer. From social media metrics to the nods of strangers, you've been conditioned to crave external affirmation. But every time you chase it, you're handing over your power. You're letting others dictate your mood, your confidence, your value. Stop, look in the mirror, and recognize the truth your worth isn't up for debate. It's not measured in followers, compliments, or applause. It's forged in the quiet moments when you choose yourself over the noise. Solitude is your sanctuary for this realization. Without the crowd's chatter, you can hear your own voice clearly. Hook, why let the world grade your value when you can set your own standard? Breaking free from validation starts with redefining success on your terms. Society wants you tethered to its metrics, more likes, more friends, more status. But those are hollow victories. In solitude, you can ask yourself, what do I value? Is it strength, discipline, integrity? Build your life around those pillars, not someone else's scoreboard. When you stop seeking approval, you stop fearing rejection. A no from the world doesn't shake you because your foundation is solid. You become a man who walks into any room, not needing a single glance to feel complete. That's freedom. Hook, the world's approval is a cage. Your own standards are the key. Which are you choosing today? This shift requires courage. It's easy to lean on others' praise to feel good. It's harder to stand alone and know you're enough. Start small, catch yourself when you're tempted to seek validation. Notice when you're fishing for a compliment or scrolling for likes. Pause and redirect that energy inward. Celebrate your own wins, no matter how small. Ran an extra mile, mastered a new skill, stacked another dollar toward your goals. That's your validation. Write it down, own it, let it fuel you. Over time, you'll crave your own approval more than anyone else's. Hook. The only approval that lasts is the one you give yourself. Are you building that strength or still begging for scraps? When you ditch the need for validation, you become magnetic. People are drawn to those who don't need them. There's a quiet power in someone who's whole on their own. You're not chasing relationships to fill a void. You're choosing connections that add value. Solitude teaches you this distinction. It's where you learn to enjoy your own company, to find peace in your own thoughts. You stop performing for others and start living for yourself. This is the root of happiness, a life where your value is non-negotiable, rooted in your own standards. Hook. The world chases those who don't chase it. Are you ready to stand so strong that others can't help but follow? Solitude is not a void to be feared. It's a forge where you craft your greatest strengths. The world wants you to see being alone as a weakness, a gap to fill with noise, people, or distractions. But the truth is, solitude is your crucible, the place where you transform into an unstoppable force. It's where you sharpen your discipline, hone your focus, and build a life that commands respect. When you turn solitude into power, you stop running from yourself and start building a legacy. This is your chance to harness the quiet moments and emerge as a titan. Hook. The greatest empires were born in silence, not in crowds. Are you ready to forge yours? In solitude, you have the space to level up without interference. The world outside is a storm of opinions, demands, and chaos pulling you in every direction. But when you're alone, you're the master of your domain. Use this time to invest in yourself. Hit the gym and sculpt a body that radiates strength. Dive into books that expand your mind and give you an edge. Plan your future with the precision of a strategist. Every action you take in solitude is a brick in the foundation of your empire. It's not about escaping the world. It's about preparing to dominate it. Hook. Solitude is where you build the weapons to conquer life. What are you crafting in your quiet moments? This process demands discipline, the kind that turns dreams into reality. Solitude isn't a break. It's a battlefield where you fight for your potential. Set goals that scare you, then break them down into daily habits. Write one page, lift one more rep, learn one new skill. These small wins stack up, transforming you into a man who doesn't just survive alone, but thrives in it. The beauty of solitude is its clarity. There's no one to impress, no one to appease. It's just you and your mission. That's where power is born, in the relentless pursuit of becoming better than you were yesterday. Hook. Every moment you spend alone is a chance to outgrow your old self. Are you rising or staying small? Turning solitude into power means embracing discomfort. Most people avoid being alone because it forces them to face their weaknesses. But you're going to lean into that discomfort. Sit with your thoughts, confront your doubts, and crush them with action. Meditate to sharpen your focus. Journal to clarify your vision. Train your body to build unshakable confidence. Each step you take in solitude strengthens your core, making you a man who doesn't bend under pressure. You'll start to relish these moments, not because you hate people, but because you've discovered the strength in your own company. Hook. The world fears the man who finds strength in silence. Are you becoming that man? This is about rewriting what it means to be alone. Society says it's lonely, you say it's liberating. Solitude is where you become self-sufficient, where you learn to rely on your own grit and vision. When you turn solitude into power, you stop needing external validation because your progress speaks for itself. You walk taller, speak with authority, and carry an energy that draws others in, not because you sought them, but because your strength is undeniable. This is the path to true power, forged in the quiet moments when you choose to invest in yourself. Hook. The man who thrives alone is the man the world can't ignore. Are you ready to make them notice? Happiness isn't a gift from the world. It's a fire you ignite within yourself. Being your own hero means stepping into the role of creator, protector, and champion of your life. No capes required, no saviors needed. You stop waiting for someone else to write your story and grab the pen with both hands. This is the pinnacle of self-mastery, owning every breath, every decision, every triumph and setback as the architect of your destiny. In a world full of victim playing small, you rise as the victor who declares, I am the storm. Hook, the hero doesn't wait to be saved. He becomes the salvation. Are you ready to author your legend? This journey begins with radical self-accountability. No more blaming circumstances, people, or fate for your unhappiness. Look inward and claim responsibility for your joy. Every morning, affirm your power. I choose my path. I build my empire. I define my worth. Solitude amplifies this truth. Without external noise, you hear the unfiltered voice of your potential. Use those quiet hours to visualize your victories, to rehearse your unbreakable mindset. You're not just surviving alone, you're scripting an epic where you're the unbreakable protagonist. Happiness flows from this ownership, turning isolation into empowerment. Hook, a life without self-ownership is a script written by others. Whose story are you living right now? Being your own hero demands daily acts of courage. Wake up and conquer your fears before breakfast. Hit the gym, tackle that project, silence that inner critic. These aren't random tasks, they're rituals that reinforce your heroic identity. Over time, you cultivate an aura of quiet dominance where doubt has no foothold. You stand tall not because the world applauds, but because you've proven to yourself that you're capable of anything. This internal validation is intoxicating. It's the rush of knowing you're self-made, self-sustained, and self-approved. Hook, heroes are forged in the fire of self-conquest, not in the comfort of approval. What fire are you walking through today? The beauty of this mindset is its magnetism. When you embody your own heroism, the world responds. People are drawn to your energy, not out of pity or obligation, but because you radiate completeness. You don't chase connections, they pursue you. Relationships become additions to an already full life, not crutches for emptiness. Solitude becomes your throne room, where you strategize, reflect, and recharge as the king of your realm. This is true freedom, a happiness so profound, it doesn't flicker in the face of solitude or solitude. Hook, the world orbits those who shine from within. Are you the sun or just another shadow? Ultimately, being your own hero is the ultimate declaration of sovereignty. You own every second of your existence, transforming potential loneliness into profound self-love. No external force can dim your light because you've become the source. This isn't ego, it's essence. You walk through life with the stride of someone who knows their value is infinite, their possibilities endless. Happiness alone isn't a consolation prize, it's the grand prize for those bold enough to claim it. Hook, every man has a hero inside. Most never unleash him. Will you set yours free and watch the world bend? So here's the deal. Brothers, happiness isn't something you find, it's something you create. You don't need a crowd, a clique, or a crutch. You need to stand tall alone and own every second of your existence. Being happy alone is the ultimate flex. It's you saying, I am enough. Go out there, build your empire, master your mind, and let the world chase while you for once. This is Andrew Tate, signing off. Now get to work.